The king of Syria once again invaded Israel. He put his army around the capital city of Samaria, totally cutting off all supplies. Before long, the people inside the walls were starving. It was said that a donkey's head sold for 2 pounds of silver, and a little bowl of dove droppings sold for 2 ounces of silver. One day, the king of Israel was walking along the city walls. A woman down below saw him and asked for his help. He looked down at her and said, I'm not sure if I can help you. What is your problem? Oh, she said, it's my friend. She isn't keeping her promise. We agreed that we would eat our 2 sons. So we boiled my son and ate him, and now she has hidden hers. When the king heard this, he ripped his clothes. He said, I'll get Elisha for this if it's the last thing I do. He called for a guard and told him to go find Elisha and chop off his head. Elisha was meeting with some of the elders of the nation of Israel when he said, our murderous king has sent a guard to come chop off my head. And the king is right behind him. As soon as he said that, the king walked into the door. He yelled at Elisha, you said the Lord is causing this, so why should I serve him if he's going to act like this? Elisha says, I have another message from the Lord. This disaster is about over. Tomorrow at this time, a bag of fine wheat flour will sell for just a few coins. A large bag of barley will sell for the same price. King's advisor said, impossible. That couldn't happen even if God opened the windows of heaven. Elisha looked at him and said, you will see it with your own eyes, but you will not taste the food. That very night, out in the Syrian camp, suddenly the Syrians heard a loud noise, like a large army marching towards them. As they listened, it got louder and louder, and it sounded like there was chariots and horses. They yelled at one another, Israel has hired another army to attack us. Let's get out of here. They dropped everything, left it behind, and ran. Once they were gone, it was all quiet once again. Just outside the city gates, before the sun had even come up in the morning, 4 lepers were talking among themselves. One said, why are we sitting here starving to death? The other one said, well, it's no better in the city. If we go there, we'll just die of hunger as well. First one said, well, yes, but if we go into, we could possibly go into the Syrian camp. I mean, they might kill us. We're going to die anyway. But possibly they may have pity on us and give us some food. So the 4 men got themselves up and walked towards the Syrian camp. When they got there, they didn't realize that the camp was empty. They went into the first tent and they found food. In addition to that, there was gold and silver and fine clothes. Well, the first thing they did was to eat the food. Then they took all the possessions and took it out and hid them somewhere. They came back and hid hid all the things they found in the second tent. Finally, they said, this isn't right. I mean, people are starving on the other side of the wall. God will judge us if we don't tell them about this. So the men found their way to the city gate and called for the gatekeeper and told him exactly what they had found. When the king heard about this, he said, it's a trick. The Syrians are just out of sight, and they'll attack us as soon as we come out of the city. Still, he sent some guards out to see what they could find. When they got outside, they clearly saw where the Syrians had gone. They saw their path because the way was, the Syrians had thrown down their extra clothes and their weapons and everything so they could run faster. They made a clear path away. They came back and they told the king what they had found. Well, the people flooded out of the gates to go into the Syrian camp and to get food. Prices immediately fell. The king put his advisor at the gate for crowd control. But soon he was trampled to death, so fulfilling what the prophet said. You'll see it with your own eyes, but you won't taste the food.